Y'all, life is crazy and too stressful to have more stress in our lives, so let's cut it down. 2 years ago, I was completely ignoring where my money went and I had no idea where it was going. And I chose to just not even look and to ignore my shopping addiction because I didn't want to acknowledge the problem that I had with spending. But then I discovered minimalism, which isn't just decluttering my closet, getting the capsule wardrobe, but decluttering my spending. And now these 10 minimalist habits save me about $500 every month without feeling deprived. If you're in your 20s like me and trying to get ahead financially, then this is for you. And if you're not in your 20s and just want a little bit of extra motivation, then this is also for you. Let's jump into the video. Habit 1, the 1 in and 1 out rule. This saves about $30 a month. The rule is every time I buy something, I have to get rid of something else, especially within the same category. So if I buy a new shirt, I have to get rid of an old shirt. This includes clothes, makeup, mugs, jewelry. And what this does really forces me to consider what I already have and if I need the new piece. It keeps me from buying on impulse, which I used to do all the time, had a huge problem with. And on average, this cuts about $30 in unnecessary shopping because I would impulse buy to fill this hole of just needing something new to keep up with the trends, when in reality I wasn't building anything about my own personality or personal style. I was just doing what everybody else thought was cute and trendy and I would follow along. And in reality, it was hurting my own personal style and cluttering up my home. Habit number 2 is coffee and breakfast at home. This saves about $50 a month. In college, I used to spend about $5 to $10 a day at coffee because I just drank coffee all the time. I love going to Starbucks with my girlfriends to study. We had a coffee shop on campus that I'd go to at least once a day. I drank so much coffee. I was spending an ungodly amount a month on coffee. And now I have found a coffee that I really like and I make it at home. I found a creamer that I really like, a couple of creamers, and I rotate between the 3 so that I don't get bored. And I just make a delicious coffee from home every single day. And it's something that I look forward to. I enjoy making. It wakes me up in the morning. And breakfast, I also would get a little pastry out or even breakfast out when I would get my coffee because I was like, I'm already here, might as well. And that's just so much extra expense. I can just make my own breakfast at home, which is way cheaper and usually way more healthy for me. It feels cozy and intentional. My mornings are calmer because I'm creating and making my own coffee and breakfast at home, and it saves me about $50 or more a month. Habit number 3, the 24-hour rule for purchases. Any kind of purchase that has to do with clothing, shoes, home decor, accessories, kitchen gadgets, items, just random things that you don't really need. This saves about $40 a month. And the rule is if I see something that I like and I want to buy it, I'll write it down on a wish list and I'll wait 24 hours, and usually I don't want it anymore. Some people need 48 hours, some people need a week, a month. Give yourself as much time as you need to really make sure that you need and want the item and it's not just an impulse buy. I don't buy any more random cute tops that I never wear because 9 out of 10 times I do not want it anymore. And that's just the reality. We kind of get this rush when we're there, but if we wait, we write it down, then that kind of rush doesn't happen anymore and you realize, oh yeah, I don't actually want that and I don't need it. And that saves me about $40 a month. Habit number 4, the capsule wardrobe mindset. This saves me about $60 or more a month. I used to buy all sorts of colors, trends, micro trends, shoes, bags, so many different types of jeans and tops, and I just had a random wardrobe and nothing fit together. That's why you probably think you have nothing to wear because your closet is so scattered and nothing goes together. So now I've really narrowed down what I like, what looks good on my body type, what colors look good with me. I wear a lot of blue. I know that blue looks good on me and I really like it to wear it. It's a very calming color. So a lot of my color is blue and gray and cream and white and beige and some brown. It's very neutral with a lot of pops of blue, and so everything goes cohesively together. I know that I like button-down shirts, I like wide leg trousers, I like boots, I like my cowgirl boots, I like shorter dresses and longer dresses and skirts, I like the boho lacy look. I know exactly what I like, and so I'll only buy and look at those things that I have in my capsule wardrobe. And it's not the typical capsule wardrobe, it's the capsule wardrobe I've built for myself and that I know that I truly like. And so everything else I don't even give a look at or a second thought. I don't buy any more random just cute tops because they're trendy or they're aesthetic, or I buy them for my fantasy self. I'm like, oh, maybe she'll wear it in the future, or I have an event in my head that I'm not even invited to yet, but I'll just just in case. None of that. I just buy for things that really will work with the rest of my closet. And now I don't have the constant panic of I have nothing to wear anymore, which is amazing. And that really does save me over $60 a month. Habit number 5, meal prepping and planning my groceries. This saves me about $70 or more a month. The trick is, before grocery shopping, I look at the ingredients I already have and I create meals based on the ingredients that I have. And I'll buy groceries around the meals of the ingredients that I actually need for the meals I want to make. But I have to use up what I have in my fridge. That's my rule, which cuts food waste, which is amazing and good for our planet and to make use of what we already have. But it also saves me that mental clutter of what are we going to eat today, tonight, what's going to be for dinner? I already have it all planned out for the week, and it saves me about $70 a month, which is fantastic. Habit number 6 is selling before donating. When I was in college, I got so many clothes. I don't even remember where they all came from, but I just would buy and buy and buy on impulse because I thought I had no fashion sense, and I didn't really. But buying more clothes doesn't mean I have better fashion, and so I learned that quickly. But I ended up donating 3 giant trash bags full of clothes that were from fast fashion brands, just terrible quality. I learned my lesson, and I ended up not really liking or wearing any of it, and then I just had to donate it. But now I buy high quality pieces, things that I really love, and if I want to pass it on, I'll try to sell it on my Curtsy app. I've sold quite a few hundreds of dollars worth of clothes, and it's such a better way to earn some money back that you might have lost and regretted instead of donating it first, because a lot of the donation places are getting overloaded with so many donations, and most of it goes to a landfill anyway. So trying to sell it and rehome it to people who actually want to buy it is such a better option if you can. And this saves and earns me about $50 a month. Habit number 7 is going to the library before buying books. Your local library has basically all the books. If you have your library card, and you can buy movies or rent out movies, rent out books, rent out cookbooks. Libraries are fantastic, and it's kind of fun to go in and look around too. It's just such a good thing to do on an afternoon with your girlfriends or your hubby. And if you're an avid reader and you go through books a lot, books are so expensive. And so going to the library, you can pound through books way faster, way cheaper. And this saves me about $20 a month, because now you have to spend $20 on a book. And if you like to read a book every month, then that's a heck of a lot of money. I don't even want to do the math. That's a lot of money. Habit number 8, repair before replacing. This goes with basically anything. As a young kid, I learned how to sew, and it was kind of one of my hobbies, which is kind of rare, I think, for people to know how to sew, but it's so relaxing. It's so fun. You can resew on buttons. You can hem pants and skirts. It's such a practical skill that if you learn it, you can basically make any old item new again, or fix any item that is broken or needs fixing. So that's a great skill to learn, and there's so many good classes on YouTube that you can look and take. Craftsy is a new platform that you can learn how to sew on. I mean, you can learn anything on YouTube. If you need to fix a wobbly chair, just YouTube how to fix it. Don't just get somebody else to fix it. We can do so much. We're just lazy. But if you really take the time to fix the things that we love and that we use every day, then that will cut so much cost. Even with phones, if your phone is acting weird, just go get it repaired. Don't buy a whole new phone. I used to only buy refurbished phones because that was way cheaper, and Verizon sometimes has really good deals, and so I switched from AT&T to Verizon and got a new phone. But before that, I never bought a new phone, and then I would just get it. I would get a refurbished phone, and then I would get it fixed whenever I needed my phone fixed. And this saves me about $30 a month. Habit number 9, this is one of my favorites because it's super easy to do and it really helps. And that is unsubscribing from sales emails. This saves me $40 a month because I don't impulse purchase if it's not in my face. Minimalism isn't just about the stuff, it's about removing the temptation. Unsubscribing from these sales emails just helps me really cut back from buying things that I didn't even plan to buy, because you think, oh, I must get this item because it's on sale. And those sales emails really get to your heartstrings because they're like, oh, it's running out only 5 left. Like, you don't need it. You didn't even know you wanted it until you saw the sales email. And that has been really good for me to not even have the sales emails. Unsubscribe from all of them. Even the brands you're like, well, I really like to know when they're on sale. Nope. Just wait until you really need something and then go look for a sale on it. Or wait till Black Friday or something when you know there's going to be a sale. Don't just have that temptation all the time in your email. And that really does save me at least $40 a month. And habit number 10 is a good one, setting a fun money budget. This saves about $100 a month. Because minimalism doesn't mean no fun spending. It means intentional spending. I set a limit for my just for fun purchases, like going to coffee, getting dinner, going to a pottery class. And when it's gone, it's gone. This alone saves me about $100 a month, and it really makes me intentional about how I spend my time. It makes those little treats every month so much sweeter and like something to really look forward to because you're really intentional of how you're going to spend your fun money. And that's it. Those are the 10 things that save me $500 a month. And then you can save that $500 and put it towards debt, student debt, loans, all the things, or save it up for a nice vacation or for a down payment on a house. There's so many things that you can save up for that your future self will love you for, because if you're frivolously spending on random things and you're not being intentional with your money, then your future self can't reap the rewards that your younger self could be making for yourself. So I really highly encourage you to take all of this how you want to and just be really intentional with your spending. It's easy to get set in this cycle and this trap of just buying whenever we feel like it. It gives us these little dopamine rushes and makes us feel good in the moment, but in reality, it's hurting us. It really is. And it's cluttering our space and it's making us feel guilty when in reality, we should be able to spend our money how we want. We got to take back our power, not let overconsumerism and social media make us buy things that we don't even want or need, and to really save up for the future. I really have to step back and ask myself, what do I want out of life? Because then that really helps me to spend my money how I want to, and not to let influencers and social media dictate how I spend my money. And I know a lot of us in our 20s are in that trap and in that cycle, and we see these huge back to school hauls and fall decor hauls and Christmas hauls, and it feels kind of aspirational, even though it really isn't. And it's kind of gross how much people are spending on this stuff that they don't need. And it's just, yeah, it makes me sick, honestly. Let me know which one of these habits would save you the most money. If you want more ways to simplify your life and your finances, hit subscribe. I make videos every week on how I'm being intentional and mindful about what I'm spending, how I'm building my capsule wardrobe, how I declutter, all those things. So if that interests you, then please subscribe, like this video. It helps my channel a lot, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Have a blessed day.